Section 7.3, large and small percents. Okay? Now this says it's possible to have percents that are greater than 100. Okay? I'm trying to think of an example in real life where, let's say that 1 week I had $30 in my bank account, and the next week I had $40 in my bank account. Do you agree that I have 133% of what I had the week before? I have all of it, right? I have $30 plus another 10, right? So I have more than 100% of what I had the week before. I have 133%. Okay, I have all of it plus another third. So it's possible to have percents that are larger than 100. It's possible to have numbers that are smaller than 1%. Remember, I can take a number, I can write it as a decimal, I can write it as a fraction. That means that I can have a percent that's more than 100, right? That's more than one whole. I could have 1.5 pizzas. That means I have 150% of a pizza, right? I have a whole pizza and 50% more. Does that make sense? Okay, good. That's better than the bank example, isn't it? Okay, well, let's look at this. It says here are some examples. Study the examples. That means we need to look at them and try to see what's going on, to see the relationship between a decimal, a fraction, and a percent. Let's look at A right here. A. Everybody understands 1.4, right? Oh, let me move this out of the way. Okay, it's 1 4/10. Oh, look, they have it written now as a mixed number, 1 4/10. Do you agree that we could change that to an improper fraction?
Yes.
And make it 14/10? Okay. Then we can multiply the top and the bottom by 10 and make it 140 over 100. Well, because then I can say, oh, that's the same as 140%. 1.4 is the same as 140%. Now, Elizabeth, that was a good question. How can I change this number to a percent without doing all of that stuff? Move the decimal. How many places? 2. 1, 2. Now what do I get? 140, but I have to write the percent sign back there, right?
Oh, yeah,
That's an easy way. But do you see where it comes from?
Yes.
Okay, good. Let's look at the next one. Ooh, 0.5%. 0.5%. Now let's just see, before we go through all of this, do you agree that I can write 1/2 as 0.5? Now if I wanted to change that back to a decimal, what would I do? Right now it's 0.5%. How do I change it back to a decimal? I only have 2 people that know how to change this back to a decimal. Oh, there they are. David, what do I do?
Wait,
It's right here.
oh, you change it back to a decimal,
It is 0.5%. It's not even a whole percent. But I need to change it to a decimal.
oh, I see.
All right, hang on, just to save some time here. Aiden,
Move the decimal point over.
move the decimal point over, but which direction? To the right or to the left?
Oh, to the left.
This way?
To the left.
To the left, right? Now I'm going back, changing it to a decimal, so it's 0.005. And I get rid of the percent, right? When I move to the left, I get rid of the percent. When I move to the right, I add the percent. Okay? Now look, they showed us here. They said, okay, 0.5%, that's 0.5%, which is the same thing as 0.5 over 100, right? And then they multiplied the top by 10 and the bottom by 10, and that gave me 5 over 1,000, which is 5 thousandths. But I don't need to go through all that, do I? I can just move the decimal point. If I move it to the right, I add a percent sign. If I move it to a left, I get rid of the percent sign. Let's see if I can finish this last one. You know what? I'm not going to rush through it. I'm going to stop this one. We'll finish this, the example and everything, on the next video. All right.